probably familiar to quite a few of you. Sarah Brandenburg is joined here tonight by her parents Rod and Lori, and her older sister Katie, who are the best of hunting partners. Rod actually described his daughters as his best hunting pals. Mom's quite involved with keeping the history and record of their hunts. She's into the scrapbooking, and I'll tell you what, if you run into her here tonight, she carries some interesting stuff, and I know she won't be shy to show them to you. It's really neat. They actually had the girls start a family tradition of writing stories about their hunts, not only to preserve the memories, but the time lost also helped with a little extra credit at school. Sarah's favorite cartridge is the 260 Remington. And that's really no shock, as she's quite the sheep hunter in her own right. But Sarah accomplished her Grand Slam at the age of 15 in a period of 1 year. She's one tough little cookie, I'll tell you. She is one of the most appreciative young folks I think I've ever had the privilege of sitting with. She doesn't take anything that she's done or been given for granted. She actually packed out of that hold on her last sheep to complete her slam was her doll, and they packed out, foot packed, and it was a 21-mile journey for them, 42 river crossings, and she carried a pack that equaled her body weight at times. Strong gal. Her Alaskan guide commented to her father that he had never had any of his hunters continually bumping into the back of him as much as Sarah had, and I guarantee you I've never had that problem. There is no, the way I was described to Sarah is there's no quit in this young lady, and she is extremely driven, and that is exemplified very early on when you speak with her. The other thing that, don't mess with her. She's a black belt. About this big. Don't mess with her. I heard some stories that I can't share with you tonight, but you might want to ask her later. Again, we are lucky to have such a fine, outstanding recipient as this young lady tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, Sarah Brandenburg.
Thank you very much. Well, my father wanted boys, and here I am. Instead of being raised with them all, I was raised in the mountains. My parents wanted my sister and I raised in the outdoors, not inside with technology. Before I could walk, I was hunting. I didn't have the choice of saying no yet because I couldn't even talk. My parents spent most of their weekends when they weren't working with my sister and I on their backs, teaching us the ways of the wilderness. I learned the beauty of the outdoors, and instead of putting my thumbs to work on an Xbox. I was once asked, why do you hunt, Sarah? Why? Why do you miss 40 days of school a year and make your teachers so mad and your principal begging them to pass you? In order to make a difference, you have to be different. Many boys say it's not normal for a girl to be hunting, or hunting as much as I do. But I was raised different. Hunting is a test of endurance and earning your keep. Hunting sustains communities with jobs, as well as others, and building the economy, especially when our country is $15 trillion in debt. In my home state, Colorado, hunting brings more money than skiing. You get out of it what you put into it. For me, it's losing 12 pounds in 5 days. First started mountain hunting when I decided to pursue the Grand Slam. Mountain hunting to me is sacrifice. It's eating chocolate candy bars, trying to get that little spurt of energy to go climb 6 miles when your guide says, it's just going to be a quick hike there, no big deal. And looking and smelling like a man. One time I went 17 days without a shower. I should have advertised for Secret. It's putting your camouflage skills to work, hunting animals with 8-power vision that can see you miles away. It's cutting alder brushes, holding them in front of your face, and walking like a sheep. I learned many things, like sardines is the most disgusting snack on the face of the planet. People have asked me, have I ever been on a roller coaster? Are you afraid of heights? Try sheep hunting. That is the equivalent of a roller coaster and more. I started my Grand Slam in August of 2009 at 14 years old, and I am headed to Alaska for my doll sheep. I started my Grand Slam weighing 105 pounds, and after 8 days of walking 12 miles a day, I came back to 92 pounds. My mom wanted to go shopping in the kids' department. I arrived in camp the only girl with 9 other male hunters. It got pretty competitive, even when they made the comment of bringing my makeup and Barbies up the mountain. On the 8th day, I shot my sheep at 390 yards. I packed my ram out 6 miles down a mountain complete of shale. I learned how to ski, sheep style. I came home 93 pounds to my first, the doll sheep. My next hunt was in British Columbia, and my guide called me a week before and said, you might want to grab some stilts. We just got 6 feet of snow. And me being only 5 feet tall, I was worried how we were going to hike through that. I shot my second ram on day 5 in the midst of a fog and blizzard. That night, I packed out my ram in the dark without a headlamp. I learned how to do gymnastics. I somersaulted through trees and boulders, and while hauling my Rocky Mountain Bighorn out, I got smacked in the head a few times. And they say sheep hunters were very touched in the head. I got it literally. My third hunt in Mexico, we were hiking in 90-degree weather, and I had the choice of either sliding down a mountain or grabbing a brush to hold myself up with thorns in my hand. I shot my desert on day 2, and the only thing I was trying to do was communicate with my guides, because that was their first female hunter, and they didn't understand that I was going to be the one shooting. They kept encouraging my dad to shoot, so we had to, play the, okay, I'm going to shoot, but you really shoot game. I'm thankful to live in America, though, because we're free, especially coming home to an actual house, not a living room with car seats like my guides had. And our Second Amendment is the right to keep and bear arms, and I will always take that under consideration when traveling the world. Most soon-to-be 16-year-olds ask for a car. For mine, I asked for a stone sheep in completion of my Grand Slam. It was the hardest hunt I've ever been on, and also the greatest. We had the option of being flown in, but we wanted to earn it, so we hiked 21 miles back, each carrying our own weight. It was a beautiful, memorable trip, even having an encounter with a sow grizzly. On day 5, after hiking in the rain, sleet, and fog, we spotted my 41-inch stone sheep. I hiked till my lungs burnt, my legs throbbing, and my back soaking wet. Until I saw my ram, I bellied down and completed my Grand Slam at 325 yards. I packed a 110-pound backpack to camp and fleshed my sheep and walked out 21 miles. I did the Grand Slam in less than a year, and it changed my life. It taught me dedication, patience, persistence, and what I want out of life. It was not my goal to be the youngest woman in the world to get a Grand Slam, but to instead be a voice in this world, to invite my generation and younger on the mountain. For we are the future, and we'll carry on this cherished sport we call hunting. We're all hunters. We're all conservationists. We are conserving God's beautiful planet. Let's tell Peter that. It's organizations like Safari Club International and Cabela's that are doing something for the youth. Thank you for supporting the youth through this award. My parents had to pick me off the floor once I heard I actually won, and it is such an honor. I am so excited to see the future winners in years to come as we all change the future of hunting. In life, we must strive for excellence. Theodore Roosevelt said, do what you can with what you have where you are. Right now, we are at the 40th SCI convention, and it's time to make a difference. Let's get the youth involved. When you buy your dream hunt tonight, I encourage you to give back. It's to SCI, it's organizations like this that protect the heritage, this freedom. SCI is the leader in protecting the freedom to hunt and promote wildlife conservation. They protect animals, provide education, and we kids are waiting for the opportunity, a chance to make a difference, like my dad did for me. Bring your youth on your next hunt. Thank you.